Every city has its own rhythm. Today, mine begins before sunrise. I'm traveling from Hyong to Hanoi, not for a vacation, but for a hospital appointment. Still, I always believe even the most ordinary days can become unforgettable. Along the way, I'll show you another side of Vietnam. The food, the streets, the people, the train ride home, and the little moments that often go unnoticed. Hello and welcome back. I'm Sang, a 27-year-old freelance video editor from Haiphong, Vietnam. I've been working independently for the past 6 months after leaving my full-time job. Today, my sister and I are traveling to Hanoi because we're both dealing with foot and ankle pain. My sister has been struggling with it ever since she fell down a staircase at work a few years ago. As for me, my injury came from playing sports and overloading my foot during exercise. In this vlog, I'll take you along to see what it's like to visit a hospital in Vietnam. We'll also explore the streets, culture, and everyday life of Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, along the way. This is the entrance to Viet Duc Hospital, one of the largest central hospitals in northern Vietnam. It's well known for its experienced specialists and advanced medical equipment, so many people travel here for treatment from different parts of the country. Outside, the streets are almost always busy with patients, their families, ambulances, and vehicles coming and going throughout the day. This is the patient registration area. It's almost always crowded, even though today is just the middle of the week. Every day, thousands of people come here from across northern Vietnam for medical care. After a brief consultation, the doctor asked us to have MRI scans of our feet and ankles. The MRI cost about 2.5 million Vietnamese dong, and the consultation fee was another 500,000 dong, around 3 million VND in total, or approximately 115 US dollars. We then headed to the imaging department and waited for our turn. This was the waiting area before our MRI scans. As you can see, it was already crowded with patients and their families. Many had arrived early in the morning and had been waiting for hours, hoping to be called as soon as possible. You could almost feel the mixture of patience, exhaustion, and hope in the room. The queue was much longer than we expected, so we left the hospital for a while and wandered through Hanoi's narrow streets in search of lunch. Sometimes, the best way to experience a city is simply by walking through its everyday neighborhoods. The streets here were lined with rows of small Vietnamese flags, adding a bright splash of red to the neighborhood. It was a beautiful sight. All around us were local street food stalls serving everything from rice dishes and pho to noodle soups, porridge, and banh mi. Simple meals that reflect the everyday flavors of northern Vietnamese cuisine. My sister and I stopped at a small local restaurant and ordered 2 bowls of Vietnamese beef pho. Pho is one of Vietnam's most famous dishes, made with a rich, slow-cooked beef broth, fresh rice noodles, thinly sliced beef, and topped with spring onions and fragrant herbs. It's simple, comforting, and a favorite breakfast or lunch for millions of Vietnamese people every day. Each bowl costs about 50,000 Vietnamese dong, which is roughly 2 US dollars. At the table, you'll usually find fresh chili, lime, chili sauce, and pickled garlic vinegar, so everyone can season their pho to their own taste. Now come and enjoy lunch with me. The broth is rich and full of flavor. Sitting in this small alley, listening to the sounds of scooters passing by and people chatting around us feels so relaxing. If you ever visit Vietnam, I definitely recommend giving it a try. In Vietnam, lunch isn't always about rice. Many people choose dishes like pho, bun, mien, or porridge instead. They're quick, affordable, and filling, making them a popular choice for office workers, students, and travelers. No matter which city you visit, you'll almost always find a small local restaurant serving one of these traditional meals. In southern Vietnam, you'll find many of the same dishes, but the flavors are often a little sweeter. Popular meals include hủ tiếu, broken rice, cam tam, bun mam, bun bo hui, and many kinds of noodle soups. Street food is a big part of everyday life, and every region has its own unique recipes and local specialties to discover. Traveling from Haiphong to Hanoi is quite easy. You can take a coach bus or a train, and the journey usually takes around 2 to 3 hours. Riding a motorbike is also possible, but it's much slower and can be tiring for a longer trip. If you're traveling to southern Vietnam, flying is by far the fastest option, taking about 2 hours. You can also go by train, which takes more than a day, or by long-distance coach, which usually takes a similar amount of time. This is a street vendor, a familiar sight almost everywhere in Vietnam. Today, she's selling boiled sweet potatoes, boiled peanuts, and water chestnuts. After peeling the skin, water chestnuts are crisp, juicy, and naturally sweet, somewhat similar to jicama, but with a firmer texture. These simple snacks are popular with people of all ages. My sister bought all of this for less than $2. By this time, we had finished our hospital visit and walked out through the back gate. Thankfully, the results weren't too serious. The doctor told us that with medication, rest, and following the treatment plan, our feet should gradually recover. Feeling relieved, we called a taxi and headed to Kiem Lake, one of Hanoi's most famous landmarks, to take a walk and explore the city before returning home. This is Ngoc Sun Temple, one of Hanoi's most iconic landmarks, located in the middle of Kiem Lake. Around the lake, the streets are always busy with traffic, giving Hanoi its lively atmosphere. And this is the Huc Bridge, with its iconic bright red color connecting the shore to Ngoc Sun Temple. It's one of the most recognizable symbols of Kiem Lake. This area is always popular with visitors. In the evenings, many locals also come here to walk, exercise, and enjoy the peaceful atmosphere around the lake. Ngoc Sun Temple has been an important spiritual site for the people of Hanoi for many generations. During holidays, Tet, and other special occasions, many locals come here to pray for peace, good health, and good fortune. The temple has a long history and remains one of the city's most treasured landmarks. The park is filled with large old trees, making the air feel fresh and peaceful. Right in front of you is Turtle Tower, one of Hanoi's most iconic historical landmarks. According to Vietnamese legend, Emperor Loi was given a magical sword to help defend the country. After the war, while boating on this lake, a giant golden turtle emerged and asked him to return the sword to its rightful owner, the Dragon King. From that day on, the lake became known as Kiem Lake, which means Lake of the Returned Sword. My sister and I took a walk around the lake, enjoying the fresh air and peaceful atmosphere. It was around 4:30 p.m., and the afternoon sun was still quite strong. After a while, I found a bench by the lake and simply sat there, taking in the view of Kiem Lake. The sound of traffic in the distance, birds singing in the trees, the warm afternoon sunshine, and the gentle breeze made everything feel peaceful and calming. Not long ago, I would have been sitting in an office at this hour. Now, I can slow down, enjoy simple moments like this, and appreciate the freedom to explore life at my own pace. For me, that's one of the best parts of this new chapter. This is a small snack kiosk, selling ice cream, chips, and drinks. It's always busy with both locals and tourists taking a break while exploring the lake. This ice cream bar costs about 80 cents. It's a little more expensive than what you'd pay at a neighborhood shop, but that's understandable since this is a popular tourist area. Sitting here with an ice cream, enjoying the fresh air around the lake, brought back childhood memories. When I was little, eating an ice cream on a sunny afternoon always made me happy. And somehow, it still does. If you ever visit Hanoi in the summer, I highly recommend grabbing an ice cream by Kiem Lake and simply enjoying the atmosphere, just like I did. It's one of those simple experiences that makes the trip memorable. Every afternoon, the lake comes alive with people walking, jogging, cycling, and enjoying the fresh air. It's a big part of everyday life in Hanoi. From time to time, you'll also see traditional cycle rickshaws carrying visitors around the lake. Another popular way to explore Hanoi is on the city's open-top double-decker sightseeing buses. By now, it was around 5:30 p.m. My sister and I took one last walk around the lake, enjoying the scenery before heading to the nearby streets to continue exploring Hanoi. This is another beautiful temple near the lake. As you can see, the streets are full of visitors and traffic. At first, it might seem a little chaotic with so many motorbikes, cars, and people sharing the road, but somehow, it all works. It's one of those little things that gives Vietnam its own unique character, something that's hard to find anywhere else. The buildings along Hanoi's streets are a mix of old and new. Traditional architecture stands alongside modern buildings, while the ground floors are filled with small family-run shops, cafes, restaurants, and well-known brands. Together, they create the unique charm of the city. The sidewalks here are much more organized than they used to be. Like in my hometown of Hyong, many street vendors and shops have moved back onto the sidewalks, leaving the roads more open and easier for traffic. This is Long Bien Railway Station, one of several stations in Hanoi where you can catch a train to Hyong. And just beside it is the famous Long Bien Bridge, one of Hanoi's most historic landmarks. Built by the French between 1899 and 1902 during the colonial era, the bridge has witnessed wars, decades of change, and generations of daily life. Even today, it remains an important symbol of Hanoi's history and resilience. And here's the train, waiting at the platform. In just a little while, it'll take me back home to Hyong, bringing another memorable day to an end. This is one of the famous cafes along Hanoi's train street, where trains pass just a few feet away from the tables. It's a unique experience that attracts visitors from all over the world. After nearly 3 hours on the train, I finally arrived back at Hyong Station. By then, it was around 9 p.m. As soon as you walk out of the station, you'll find plenty of places offering motorbike rentals for visitors. Prices usually start at around $4 a day, making it an affordable way to explore the city at your own pace. At night, Hyong Station looks beautiful under its warm yellow lights. Around the station, motorbikes, taxis, and cars are constantly arriving and leaving as they pick up and drop off passengers. This is the area in front of Hyong Railway Station. It always feels good to be back home. Recently, the city has made a stronger effort to keep sidewalks clear and reduce street encroachment. As a result, traffic has become much smoother, especially in the evenings. At the same time, though, the lively nighttime street scene has become quieter. Some small businesses could no longer operate here and had to move elsewhere. Like many changes, it has both advantages and disadvantages. That evening, my sister and I stopped for a bowl of Hyong crab noodle soup, one of the city's most famous local dishes. It's made with a rich, crab-based broth, flat red rice noodles, fresh herbs, and toppings like crab, fish cakes, shrimp, or beef, creating a flavorful and comforting meal. Come and have dinner with me. A bowl like this usually costs between $1 and $2, depending on the restaurant and the toppings you choose. Everyone can customize their bowl to match their own taste. It's a dish that's served all day, from early morning until the evening, making it a favorite meal for many locals. Hyong is also well known for its fish noodle soup, or bun ka. It features a light, naturally sweet broth, crispy fried fish, fresh herbs, and soft rice noodles. Both dishes are local favorites that you shouldn't miss if you ever visit Hyong. The evening is when Hyong's food scene really comes alive. Besides crab noodle soup and fish noodle soup, you can also enjoy grilled seafood, steamed snails, skewers, fried snacks, banh mi, porridge, sweet desserts, and many other local street foods. As the weather cools down, the streets fill with the aroma of freshly cooked food and brightly lit restaurants. It's common for families, friends, and co-workers to gather for dinner after work, enjoying good food and good conversation. For me, it's one of the simple things that makes life in Hyong feel so special. Now I'm on my way home, bringing this journey to an end. Thank you so much for spending the day with me. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to support my channel, and let me know in the comments which country you're watching from. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!